you, 19,000 of these have been ordered so far today. We're going to show you everything the Ninja can do. And if you even head over to my Jill Bauer QVC Facebook page, you'll see my recipe for a 3 cheesy pasta that I formulated just for the Ninja.
And you, isn't it wonderful? You start cooking here, you start getting ideas,
right? You get ideas, right? And that's what we found. This is Bob Worden, by the way. Bob's been bringing great items to QVC for many, many years, especially in the cook world. I know Ninja is something you're very passionate about. We were talking earlier that this has been so well received that there's sort of now this community within a community about cooking the Ninja way. Those of you who are buying it are sharing your stories in the reviews. You're having your own Facebook pages, your own websites, just to talk about how versatile and important Ninja cooking is in your family. But tell everybody to look at it. People might think, it's just another slow cooker. Why is it not just another slow cooker,
Bob?
Well,
we designed it so we have heat that we control when we want it on the bottom, heat we control when we want it on the side. So what that enables us to do, let's start with slow cooker. It means we have a slow cooker that browns,
yes,
and then is a slow cooker, very unique slow cooker. Then we have an electric skillet, as you said,
yes,
that can turn into an oven.
Right.
Right, and turn into a steam oven or a dry oven.
Mm-hmm.
It is a steamer, because that's the fourth of our 4-in-1, is we've turned it into that steam oven.
Love
so
that.
You have an oven, dry or steam. You have a slow cooker. You have a skillet.
Yes.
It is a one-pot meal maker that is absolutely fantastic.
And then here's kind of how it works, right?
So here's the heat on the bottom. We can turn that on, we have the skillet on, right? When we want to have an oven, we can have a dry oven, or if we put liquid at the bottom, we have a steam oven. So what we're doing is we're going to start by showing you steam roasting.
Okay.
Now, when you cook with an oven at home, it's a big box. You turn it up to 350 degrees. You turn the chicken in there, a roast, right? And it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5, depending how big the piece of meat is.
Right.
And you will typically lose 30 to 40% of the volume of the weight because it has to dry it out.
Shrinks. Yeah,
because of time, it shrinks more with time. And on 350 degrees in an oven is half as fast as 212 degrees in steam. Did you know that?
No.
Because steam, as you know, steam will burn you right away. Because steam transfers heat at several times as fast as air. You can stick your hand in a dry oven long time before it hurts you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
How long does it take to hurt you in steam?
Not long at all.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do things backward.
Okay.
We want to have browning. We want to have all that browning flavor that a roast gives us, whether
Yes.
we're doing a chicken or pork. So what we did is we put it on our skillet setting. So up here, we've got it on skillet high. And I've browned all the edges of it. It's just as nice and brown as can be.
Nice.
Right? So, because it's not going to have time to do it. It's not going to do it in the steam oven, right?
Right.
So I'm going to
right.
brown first, or I can brown after it. Now I've got this wonderful fond that's down here in the bottom, right? And then I'm going to add liquid. Now this liquid is just a beef stock. I'd use chicken stock if I was doing chicken. And then I want to permeate my roast with some flavors, so we're going to use rosemary and some garlic, which we'll put in here. Now this liquid does two things. First of all, it's going to provide the steam.
Yes.
Second, it's going to become our gravy. So as it steams the roast, it's reducing and reducing and getting more concentrated in flavor. All the good juices from the roast are dripping down into that, right? And so when we're done, we're going to have almost instant gravy. We're going to put it back to the skillet and make gravy.
Love that.
So here's how we do. We now started with it in the skillet position. And low or high, I did it on high. So now we're going to turn it to oven. So we turn it there. Immediately, the temperature sign comes on.
Okay.
I'm going to do this roast at 375. Then I'm going to push the time, and I'm going to do it for 1 hour and 5 minutes. Now, you'd probably do this for well over 2 hours at home in a 350-degree dry oven.
Dry oven, right.
But we're doing it in a 212-degree steam oven.
Yeah.
Right. So now, through the magic of television,
In the interest of time,
here's
the. Now, first of all, just look at this, because look how moist and juicy this roast
it would never be that way in a dry oven,
I was going to
right?
say, I mean, how many of you, the reason why you usually make gravy to go along with the pot roast is because it's dried out. So moist and tender, nothing drying out, nothing getting too crispy, nothing too tough. But again, you have all those flavors that have almost sort of infused into the food, and you're left with this delicious base to turn into your gravy.
Right, so we've got a rosemary, garlic gravy ready to be made. Now you see that's reduced down by about 3/4,
Yes.
right? So there's not enough gravy in there anymore,
Right.
So I'm going to take some more beef stock or chicken if you're doing chicken or turkey, and I'm going to pour it in here. then now I want to turn it away from oven and back to skillet.
Skillet, right.
So now I take it off the oven, turn it to skillet high, and just while this would normally be resting,
Yeah.
the gravy's going to get made. But in the interest of time, we're not going to let this roast rest.
Okay. So can I remind everybody all the things you just did with this
Yes,
Ninja?
please.
You started by browning the roast, which you cannot usually do in your slow cooker. And if you're going to brown the roast before you put it in the oven, you're dirtying up one dish by browning, and then you've got to put it in a different dish and take it into the oven. So you've browned it. Then you've added your liquid here, put your roast on top. It's cooked fully. You've taken it out, taken the roast out, and now in that same pan, which normally you'd have to dirty up something else and go back to your stovetop, you're making the gravy to go with the roast. So 3 very different steps in this meal process, but all done in one Ninja.
And
that's the magic of the Ninja, isn't it, really, Bob?
So we also did it in an hour and 5 minutes.
Yes, in less time.
But I don't care. If this took 3 hours, I would do it this way.
It's about the quality of the food,
about the
right?
quality.
I'm willing to wait if it tastes good, but
So
I'm glad you can hurry
I
it
can
up.
tell by pushing on here, we've got medium rare in the center. But on the outside, we're probably closer to medium well. Now, on most roasts that are medium well, people who don't like rare meat,
Yeah, I do not.
okay. So, but the problem is you're always eating the driest piece of meat.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So now let's see.
Hence the gravy.
Hence the gravy, right?
But not this
So
time.
we're going to take something out of the very outside now that you would
Look at the
usually
juice.
choose, right? And you've never had a dry,
Look at
a
that.
moist piece of thing that's well done before, have you?
No.
So what I always like to do is I like to have the host take a piece of meat,
Yes.
and which you know has to be dry, right? It's,
Yes,
it's well
'cause
done.
it's well done.
And see if you can't squeeze out juice between your tongue and the roof of your mouth.
Really?
Yes, and look how tender it is.
I know, it's very tender. I thought that was too big of a piece, so I'm just cutting it in half here a little bit.
That's all. You
Whoops,
won't
whoa.
think it's too big after
All right,
you
here
taste
we
it.
go. Ready?
Isn't that moist?
It's delicious.
So if you like well
And
done,
I taste the rosemary
it's infused,
and a
right?
little garlic.
So if you like well done or medium
That is
well, you're not
delicious.
sacrificing and getting it dry because we've cooked it in a steam environment
Delicious.
rather than in a dry
You're
oven.
right. I'm going back for that piece that
now
fell on the
if we
counter.
go into the center here, and this should be pretty rare in the center, right?
Oh, look at that.
I mean, if you like rare, I mean, you see all the juice is still there.
Look how
right?
beautiful that is.
So you get to control it. This
Not,
is like
not done in a regular
This
oven,
is like
but done in the
125
Ninja.
center, right? Which is
Wow.
how I like it, but some people don't.
Yeah.
But no matter what, on the outside, inside, it's moist.
Amazing.
And the gravy-
Amazing.
but the gravy's
That
done.
gravy smells incredible. All right, so what about other things we can do with our
Okay,
Ninja? So
so-
that's a roast, but people are saying, oh, I don't really know if I do roasts or big meals like that. I like casserole type things. I like pasta type things. What else can I do in my Ninja?
Well, when we did a survey, and Ninja is really good about going out and finding out what the public wants,
Yeah.
we found the #1 thing they wanted was one-pot meals.
Yes.
They wanted to come home and go into the freezer and the pantry and throw something together.
Yes,
no problem.
I can
what
totally relate to that.
So what we did is, in this book, there are 40 one-pot meals where you don't have to have planned ahead. So what we tell you is, in your pantry, in your freezer, have some frozen chicken breasts, some frozen pork chops, some frozen fish,
Yeah.
some frozen meatballs, whatever you like. And in your dry pantry, have all kinds of dry pasta.
Yes.
In the freezer, you could also have frozen
Frozen
ravioli,
raviolis, yep.
right? So what we did is we put together recipes that can be made inside of 30 minutes. All right, so this is, in the bottom here, I've got the onions, garlic, salt, and pepper.
So is that like on your electric skillet mode?
This is in the
Yeah.
electric skillet
Yes,
mode,
okay.
right? See how that's nicely softened
Yes.
up? And that's even on low now, right?
Nice.
This is my frozen pasta.
Okay.
So we're just going to throw that in there.
Frozen cheese ravioli.
Frozen? No, I think it's beef
Oh,
ravioli.
beef. Okay.
Now, we're going to put the sauce on top. Now, this is how much sauce you would normally made if the ravioli was not frozen, right? But it is frozen, isn't it?
Yep.
So how much more liquid do you have to add so it'll come back down to a nice sauce at the same time as the ravioli's done? That's what our recipe developers and the Ninja Culinary team
Figured
did.
out, yep.
We had to test all these recipes with these different kind of pasta and frozen food to know how do we set it, how long do we do it, and that's what we tell you. And then, as you said, you become an inventor yourself after a while, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to turn this onto the oven.
Now, am I
lower.
baking? This is a bake mode now?
Yes, you could bake it, and if you don't want it in a hurry, you could do slow cooker. But I like to get it done and then put it to warm because it's also a buffet server, right?
Nice, yep.
So all you have to do is pop the lid on there, which I put someplace, right? I'm good at misplacing lids today. And we come over here through the magic of television, and
Look at
You
that.
like beef ravioli?
I do. I like all ravioli.
Wow.
It's not to like.
So you can see the sauce has
Ooh,
reduced,
nice.
right?
And was that just a jarred sauce that you used
Just
there?
a jarred sauce. And the thing is, you can use a red sauce. You can
Yeah.
use a white sauce. You can
Right.
use an Alfredo sauce. You want cheese?
Of course.
Are you Italian?
No.
Somebody told
My
me.
last name's Bauer. It's
Oh,
about
you're
as
German.
as it gets.
Oh, this is by the way, this is German Parmesan.
And I'm Metzger on the other side. Does it
you are
get any more
No.
German than that?
No. So the goal here is this was frozen. We want it to be perfectly done at the end of 30 minutes, and we want the flavor to be reduced back down to the thickness of the sauce before. Isn't that great?
You know what's impressive? The pasta's not overcooked. It's not a mushy mess. It's tender. The beef on the inside is cooked all the way through, but I don't feel like the pasta is too wet or, just
Right, and we do the
soft.
same thing when we're using linguine. We're using just regular spaghetti pasta, lasagna. We're going to have a skillet lasagna later.
That's delicious.
Isn't that
I took
wonderful?
3 bites. I'd like everybody to know.
See, that's how I judge a host. If they take 1 bite, they're just doing their duty. If they take 2 bites, they like
That's
it
really
a lot.
good. That's
if they
a good
take 3
dinner.
bites, they're in love with it.
It was delicious. Let me remind everybody about colors here, Bob, because over 19,000 of these have been ordered today. Take a look at what we have for you. This is the bright blue. We have the white in the center. There's only 1,000 to go around in the white. Those ship out, don't forget, March 24th. And then we also have that sunny yellow. And then what we can ship out right away, stainless steel. I have to say, that's what I would go for, because my whole kitchen is stainless steel appliances. So if I'm going to leave this sitting out, which you probably will because you're using it all the time, have it match your other appliances. That's kind of my rule of thumb when it comes to appliances that you leave out on the counter. Do it in stainless, or do it in the color that matches your other big appliances. We do have it in black, but there's only 1,000 of those that we can ship out right away. And then we also have it for you in the cinnamon. Remember, this isn't just for your Ninja 4-in-1, but you're also getting that great recipe book, 150 recipes, all specifically designed for the Ninja. But remember, any other recipe that you love to put in any other slow cooker or oven or skillet or stovetop, whatever it is, you can do all of those in your Ninja multi-cooker. And then you're also getting your baking pan, your roast and steaming rack, and you're getting the carrying travel bag, because a lot of you might want to make things ahead of time, take it to a potluck, plug it in, people can enjoy it. Great for all the banquets that are coming up, for your church suppers, so it's nice to have that as well. This whole offer would normally be close to $200 elsewhere. Here at QVC, we have it at $129 and change, and